Hotel brothers and sisters, Black Power, as always, giving honor to the Creator, giving honor to the ancestors. Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul of the Street Law Soldiers, my in-laws, my sister, my father, my sister-in-law, my donors, my subscribers, my viewers, family members, and all those that are fighting for our liberation and salvation in the Black nation. By request, I want to briefly discuss this topic of you brothers that supposed to have a level of consciousness, even those who don't have a level of consciousness, but primarily those who claim that they are awake, mentally awake, so to speak, that are straight womanizers. You know, a lot of times I've noticed over the years, a lot of you scholars, so-called scholars, have got your little nookie from tranquilizing some of these sisters by telling them all this information that they never knew, you know, that blows their mind, so to speak. And then at that point, they become vulnerable to anything that, you know, you demand from them or request from them. In other words, sometimes you use your information and your religions, you know, to lay down and fuck queens. And then those who have, and it's always those who have decent sisters, you know, that you're not satisfied because you have some newfound information and you might be eating a little better, you might look a little better, you might smell a little better, and now you're not content with the sister that dealt with you before all of these newfound energies transpire in your being. You know, and guys like that, I gotta be straight up, guys like that are nothing, mainly punks, you know, that have been used, have dealt with the wrong sisters, been used, that feel weak and they feel vulnerable. So what they do to try to cover their emotions, because they're too much of a coward to reveal how they really feel and put all their eggs in one basket in terms of a queen that you know is a rider. So you go and lie to another queen, and then you lie to another queen, and you lie to another queen. And also, you sisters have to stop fucking guys that have a little bit of information, thinking that, you know, they are all about you. You know, it's some boundaries and limits that you sisters have to set for yourselves. Just because someone is a scholar and known throughout social media or in the social aspect, period, that you become so fascinated with this information that you can acquire if you do the work and the research. And so next thing, you taking your panties off, and then after you find out this nigga's some straight shit, he's a fucking coward ass nigga, then you want to cry and you want to slander him. But you have to look at what you've done prior to him taking cold-blooded advantage of you and you being vulnerable. You have to admit that first. And I always tell sisters to study so you won't have to depend or be enlightened by someone else. And then in turn, the payback is a trip to the sack, a trip to the bedroom.
I love you.
We have to remember, you know, brothers and sisters, that, Everybody that's in the so-called conscious arena are not for real, are not 100% down for liberation and salvation of our people. A lot of them are in the hustle, get paid, take money, lie to people, fuck the sisters, and keep it moving, going from city to city, town to town, doing this dirtball ass coward shit. And see, I'm not no hater or nothing by a long shot. Trust me when I tell you, I have no reason to have ill feelings or hate on somebody. I never have and never will. Because there's no reason for me to have any hatred, because, I'm blessed with a goddess. And so I treat her accordingly, according to the Creator and the ancestors. And so my job is to convey this information to you. I'm not into all that bullshit. But all of you have to be aware of this type of shit that goes on. And so, and understand that brothers that do that shit are weak, they're soft, and they're vulnerable themselves. But nevertheless, let's discuss this medical genocide, this medical apartheid that is killing the black community. Not the black community, but killing black people, because we have no communities. Now you remember 20, 30, 40 years ago, we and our ancestors and predecessors didn't have no types of illnesses like they do now. TB, sickle cell, pneumonia was the extent of the majority of medical issues among black people. Now, all of a sudden, cancer, COPD, neuropathy, diabetes, all of this shit is piled on like overnight in all these different types of cancers. Pancreatic cancer, lung cancer, throat cancer, prostate cancer. And so, how did we acquire this? The food has changed. All of us are eating this Monsanto grown poisonous food that destroys the organs of melanated people. And so you have apartheid. You have these crackers that get top of the line insurance because they're the culprits, and these are the motherfuckers that have all of the diseases. All of the diseases. They got so many diseases, they name them after people. Lou Gehrig's and all this bullshit. Parkinson's. All of this shit. Like I tell y'all, this cracker's a walking germ. He is a walking virus and germ with legs. And this is why his ass is being extinct. Because 20, 25 years from now, this cracker might not be on the motherfucking planet. And if so, it'll be few and far between. And this is why Alabama, with all these goddamn rednecks and these other white states, are banning abortions, which really applies to white people. Really applies to white people. Sisters can get abortions all day long because it's a Planned Parenthood in every black hood. And that's not by accident, coincidence, or chance. You have a liquor store, you have a pawn shop, check cashing, Planned Parenthood, McDonald's, Dollar Tree, and a grocery store. in a mini mart in every black hood that are not owned by black people. Once again, the hood is nothing but the white community occupied. The majority of the occupants are black. And the proprietors in that community are of different ethnic backgrounds. Koreans. Y'all say Chinese carry-out, but they are Koreans. And you see what Eisenhower and Truman did after the Korean War. They were compensated. Now they have carry-outs all over the goddamn, all in every hood in United Snakes. They're Arabs after they bombed Iraq. Bin Laden and all this bullshit. This fake, this 9/11 motherfucking hoax. You know, now, and these Arabs who Reagan and Bush compensated these motherfuckers after they went over there, made up the shit with Oliver North and Colin Powell. Anybody would name their child Colin. I see why they named him Colin, because he's full of shit. But Colin Powell and all these other goddamn coons and devils and wicked motherfucking crackers lied about weapons of mass destruction so they could take over the gold, the oil, part of the oil trade in the Afghanistanian drug trade, which now that drug trade has been passed down because the United States took them for bad, murdered all of them Afghanistans. The ones who survived, they came over, got citizenship, and they get gas stations and mini marts. Same with the Ethiopians. Same way Mickey Leland was murdered when he tried to end starvation in Ethiopia. Congressman from Texas, brother Mickey Leland. His plane just all of a sudden falls out of the air and hit a mountain. So, these motherfuckers, the drug trade now is in Mexico. You got so many cartels over in Mexico. And so what they do, United Snakes, what they do is pin this shit on one individual and make him appear to be responsible for the entire drug trade, when the United States are the biggest motherfucking drug dealers on the planet. How is it that you have a task force? You have a task force and you have people that's going out, cooperatives and all this type of shit, black ops and all this bullshit. And they go over there and what they do is make sure the drug shipment is accounted for by the government. And it's distributed from these ports to these governors, congressmen, these DEA agents, ATF, all of these motherfuckers are dirty. And so what they do, they pass it down to the congressmen and the mayors. The mayors pass it down to the task force, the police drug task force. They are the street hustlers. And what they do is pick one nigga that's going to be a kingpin, and they give him the motherfucking work. And then after he makes them millionaires, they come and give him life and declare him a drug lord and a kingpin and charge him with poisoning the motherfucking community. The shit goes on every day like clockwork. And then they'll put a movie on to glorify the bullshit so you can get involved and go to motherfucking jail and be part of mass incarceration. Which is so dangerous now because they, TB shots, they put motherfuckers in the hole for refusing to be injected with tuberculosis. They giving motherfuckers early releases if they undergo these motherfucking experiments and allow them to inject them with all types of psycho drugs to see the reaction of a melanated person when they are under influence of certain motherfucking drugs like LSD, PCP, codeine, and all this bullshit. Because we get the melanated brother, the black brothers and sisters, the black people get higher than white people. If you notice, those who have been out there know when the crackers come through, they buy bulk. Not because they just got money and they're partying, because they need much more drugs to get high than we do. And so they'll inject or smoke, $200-300 worth of shit in an hour, opposed to a melanated person, because the melanin intensifies everything in your body. And so the brother or sister doesn't have to spend but $20. And he will get the same high, if not higher, than this cracker that spent $300. But this is just some tidbits, some food for thought, because I am tired of sitting back, allowing all these things to take place, and no one wants to fight. No one wants to help. No one wants to pitch in and be motherfucking warriors. Because you are afraid. You are under the system and hypnosis of white supremacy. Whether you believe it or understand it or know it or not. Now, I'll tell you about white supremacy if you're under control. If you're riding in your car 3 o'clock in the morning, no one's out there, and you come up to a stop sign and you stop, you are under white supremacy. The cracker don't even have to look at you or be watching you, and you will follow his instructions. So, but this drug trade is taking us out, and we're not responding accordingly. It's affecting our babies, it's affecting children, it's affecting the elderly. Because these synthetic drugs that they are putting on the street are destroying black people, period. More of us are homeless, more of us are hungry. Now they have police in Golden Corral and all these all-you-can-eat places because motherfuckers off the street bum rush and go in there and sit down and eat what they want because they are that hungry. And that's the attitude we got to take to boycott everything economically within black people. We spend $3 trillion a year and have nothing to show for it but some material items, some goddamn clothes, a car, a fucking apartment, some bling, and some goddamn drugs that you continue to poison the minds and hearts of our people. You, and you too. Yeah, brothers and sisters, it's time for us to stop playing games with one another. Stop being so motherfucking angry and hateful towards your brothers and sisters. Because what you believe in the Creator, who you've never personally seen with your eyes, how can you say you love the Creator or God, the God of your understanding, who you've never seen, but will put a bullet in your brother's head that you see every day? And that's a biblical scripture or quote, if you will. Brothers and sisters, we do not have any more loose time to be bullshitting. because they're coming for us at some point. They're going to tell us that the terrorists and ISIS and all this shit is coming, that we need to report by force to these motherfucking FEMA camps for our own protection. And you are to never return, because all FEMA camps have one-way turnstiles, meaning they turn one way. It's no coming out. You know, but we so busy trying to be so motherfucking cool, you know, and fucking the women and thinking that shit being a motherfucking player. But you supposed to be conscious. You supposed to have infinite, and you supposed to be wisdom, manifest. You going around destroying these sisters' heads, fucking them and then leaving them. You know, which is some sick motherfucking shit. And I'm glad the sister gave me this topic to discuss. Now, let me flip this pancake on the other side. You sisters that come to these lectures and posting shit on YouTube like you supposed to be the queen, a queen goddess and all this bullshit, to see how many motherfucking niggas you can get. See, it's a two-sided coin with this. So you can put motherfuckers on your wall as trophies that you sleep with, that are supposed to be scholars, that are supposed to be warriors and black gods. You know, don't make no sense. And so, brothers and sisters, I just got an emergency call, and I have to attend and take care of some things. And my sister-in-law's homegoing celebration was magnificent, phenomenal. And you know, it was painful and tearful at times, but for the most part, it was a real celebration. Not just by word, saying the word celebration, it was an actual celebration. So I'm going to be coming back with some more issues and topics. And shout out to all my new subscribers that I met today. You know, it was a pleasure building with you brothers. You brothers are strong, and hopefully we'll meet again and put some work in. So until we see each other again, brothers and sisters, Hotep, Black Power.